and welcome to your horoscope for the month of June. Before I jump into this, I just want to remind you that I do offer personal horoscope readings on my website, astrologygrace.com, as well as like birth chart readings, love readings, compatibility readings. So if you're interested in any of that, check out the link down below. But yeah, let's just jump right into your horoscope for June. So we just had a major transition last month in May with Uranus moving from Aries into Taurus, and there's not going to be too much significant going on with the outer planets this month. A lot of them are still in retrograde, kind of hanging around the same spot, and you know, a lot of them are going to stay in retrograde for the next few months or more. So we're going to focus in on the inner planets mostly this month, and for you, your sun is going to be starting in the 3rd house, and on the 21st it'll move into your 4th house. Mercury will start in your 3rd, it'll move into your 4th house on the 13th, and at the very end of the month, on the 29th, it'll move into your 5th house. Venus is going to start in your 4th house and move into your 5th house on the 14th, and Mars for you is going to be in your 11th house for the entire month of June. The sun, like we said, is going to start in your 3rd house, so you know, the daily pace of life is going to pick up, you're going to be feeling really busy, but you're also going to be feeling, you know, especially adept at multitasking, which can really work in your favor. You know, you're gonna have like a lot of errands or appointments or phone calls you have to make or emails you have to send, and it could be a little overwhelming, but you should generally be able to handle it pretty well. But you're definitely gonna be feeling like on the go, especially at the beginning of June. You might notice that like your social interactions are emphasized during this time, like maybe people need a little extra attention from you, or maybe you need to put forth a little extra effort with your friends or family members or partners, you know, whatever's going on, even coworkers. And you'll notice that that will really help you strengthen your connections with other people. You might be more curious and observant during this time than you typically are, and you know, you're gonna have a lot of energy to be really putting into like understanding people that are close to you, your environment. You're gonna want to make your environment a happy place for yourself. You're not going to really feel quite as adventurous during this time as you typically do, because you're just going to be more content spending time like at home or, you know, close to home or with people you're close to, and you're not going to feel like you need to be seeking new adventures as much as you normally might as being an Aries. You're more interested in exploring, getting to know, you know, things that are close by. You might feel a little scattered during this time or like distracted and not as focused, but you're going to be finding it a lot easier to like express and communicate ideas that you have, visions, and things that are really important to you, and you're going to really want to share them with people that find them important as well, or people that just are, you know, willing to listen to you. You might be really eager to like investigate new things or do some research into something. As the sun moves into your 4th house, you're going to spend some quality time at home or with your family, or maybe you move, you relocate, anything having to do with like your family or your home during this time, you know, your roots, your heritage. You might have like a family reunion, you might be drawn to your relatives, maybe you spend more time with like your grandparents, siblings, cousins. You might have some confrontations with family members as well during this time, so you know, just do your best to like strengthen those relationships even if there is conflict, because they can grow. As much as it could be hard for that to happen during this time, they can grow from these experiences. You're gonna really want to like build a trust in your family members and establish a foundation for yourself if you don't currently have one, and really focusing on your foundations and what helps you grow and flourish in life. Mercury is going to start in your 3rd house this month, so again, mirroring with the sun going on, you're going to have a lot to do, you're going to be super busy, but again, you're going to be doing a good job at multitasking, hopefully, but you might just feel you're getting so much information at once that it's really hard for you to focus in on one thing. You might start to get bogged down by little things, even though they're really not important in the long run, so just do your best to try not to let them affect you as much as they might have the tendency to during this time. You're going to be feeling very distracted during this time. It's not the best time for focusing in on like one task or one big long project. It's a better time for you to like focus in on maybe a variety of things. You know, you're gonna really not want to stick to your routine, but you might have to, you know, switching it up where you can, maybe switching up your routine a little bit just to feel a little bit more sense of like not being stuck or bogged down in like the same thing that you can't really seem to focus on could be helpful. You might take a short trip during this time, and then when Mercury moves into your 4th house in the middle of the month, you could be finding yourself entertaining family or friends. You know, maybe you have a cookout or a party, a reunion. You might start to work on a project at your home, whether that's just in your bedroom if you live with your parents, or if you own a house, you might start to make some changes there. You might enjoy talking about like when you were a kid, whether it's with your parents or even your friends, and talking about your past with others might be like very entertaining to you and something that comes up during this time. You might find that your mind is often focused on like domestic issues or issues with your family members or your home for whatever reason that might be. You might also find that you're just really busy when it comes to your home life. Like maybe you have a lot going on. Maybe there's a lot of weddings going on during this time, or you have a lot of birthdays, or there's just like so many commitments that you have involving especially your family members. Now, with Venus, it's going to start off in your 4th house, so you're definitely going to be still focused on your home and family most of the month, but especially like relationship-wise or people you're really close to. If you're in a relationship, you might start thinking about starting a family if you've been in one for a while, or maybe you just are thinking about that, you know, growing a family. You might get into a relationship with somebody you meet if you're single through your family. If you go to a family event, someone brings a friend, something along those lines. Or you just might tend to be like really sentimental and kind of like nostalgic during this time, thinking about the past, thinking about people you knew, thinking about when you were a kid or when you were younger, even a few months ago you're thinking about that. You're just like super nostalgic and sentimental. Maybe you try to like strike up a tradition you used to once have because you've been kind of thinking about it. You might be like holding on to family traditions. And if you're having issues with your home life, your family life, you're gonna like take it on yourself to really try to make your home life more peaceful, especially if there have been conflicts. And you know, loyalty is going to be important to you, and you might be sensitive in your relationships with other people during this time. You might want to start focusing on ways that you can earn money from home. That's another thing that this transit brings, or just extra money. Maybe you're a student and you're looking to babysit during the summer, you know, stuff along those lines might come up. Now, as Venus moves into your 5th house, this is going to be more of a fun time, a time for parties and dating and romance and play, and you could definitely meet a new love interest if you're single or even if you're taken, but you could just be having a lot of fun if you're in a relationship, like going on dates, you know, doing new things, taking little trips, having parties, having fun, being social. You know, you might have more relationships going on with kids during this time. Maybe you play sports, you might be feeling a little bit more competitive. You might have some competitiveness going on if you're in a relationship, and just like expressing yourself creatively is going to be important for you during this time. Now, Mars is going to be in your 11th house for the entire month of June. It's going to be a great time to do like group projects, be a part of an organization that's important to you, work as part of a group instead of solo. Now, you can really excel as being a leader of a group too during this time. Just make sure not to like let your ego get too big or like create issues with other people you're working with, so that this group project time with whatever it is that you're involved in can be a beneficial, positive one. You know, you're gonna prefer to lead the group, but you might get involved in something, whether it's like a sport for the summer or like some sort of organization, a group project at school, at work, and it's just gonna be important for you to lead, but just be careful not to like step on other people's toes. And it could actually work out really nicely for you and be a beneficial time, you know, to make social connections. Again, you might feel like your schedule gets really crazy for the whole month of June, so it just might feel like a really stressful time, just with so much to do. For the whole month, mostly of June, between, you know, the 6th on, the sun is going to be squaring the ascendant, so you just want to be careful not to like come on too strong with other people, because it can really attract like arguments and conflicts with others. You know, you might feel like people are like not paying enough attention to you or overlooking you or not giving you like the acknowledgement that you deserve for accomplishments or whatever you feel like you deserve it for, but just try to like let it go. And if you're not getting enough attention, you will eventually, because the more it bothers you and the more you bring it up and let it bother you, the more issues it will create. So that is your horoscope, Aries, for the month of June. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in next month's horoscope videos for July, and yeah, have a good day or night.